Right here, new tonight on the night team, Whitney Young Elementary School students are on the move once again. Hello, everybody. It's our top story on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. Tonight, Jefferson County School Board approving to combine Young Elementary School and Englehart Elementary School, which started in August. Young elementary students are moving into the Englehart building, which is in Old Louisville. Superintendent Marty Polio says a decrease in student enrollment caused the merger. WHAS11 night team's Alex Dieter was there for the final decision.
It's going to be first day of school. They're going to be combined.
Come August of this year, students at Whitney Young Elementary School will be starting their school year at Englehart Elementary School on South 1st Street in Old Louisville.
Clearly, the magnet we had at Young, which is IB, is not attracting students to the magnet. Principal made that clear. School community, it's been a declining enrollment for many years.
A decline in enrollment at both schools is causing the district to combine the two elementary schools and naming the new school Whitney Young Elementary at Englehart.
We have a permanent home now, and I believe this is going to be a game changer for both Young and Englehart students. To have access to the magnet, to have access to the great staff that's coming in, keep the Englehart staff there. So I think it's a real win-win for both schools.
The decision was approved by the JCPS board. Board member Gail Logan Strange throwing her support behind the merger that's taking place in her district.
I am elated to say that the real winners of that merger will be the students of Englehart. It is I think, going to be another shining star.
JCPS Superintendent Marty Polio says 6th graders will temporarily move into the current Young Elementary School. 7th and 8th graders will stay at the current Hudson Middle School site for the moment. Once the new Hudson Middle School opens in West Louisville, all middle schoolers will move in.
So that will give time for the school to grow to 3 grades and then move into the brand new school building.
Teachers at both Young and Englehart will have the opportunity to stay teaching at the new combined school.
I believe the vast majority, if not all of them, will choose to stay.
The Englehart building holds 475 students. Currently, 250 students are there. 100 young students will be moving in.
Well, all kids can stay, all teachers come together.
The new Hudson Middle School is set to open in 2027, the first middle school in West Louisville in 90 years. In Louisville, Alex Dieter, the WHAS 11 night team on your side.
The new Hudson Middle School is at 18th and Broadway, where former Passport Healthcare used to be sitting right there at that intersection. New tonight, we're getting a look at the blueprint for the city street safety plan for downtown and the new Lou neighborhood. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg held the open house tonight at the Main Public Library downtown to explain it all. He says the main goal is to keep pedestrians safe as they improve connectivity and walkability in the city. The most highly trafficked streets they found include 2nd Street, Main Street, and 9th Street. A big change will be resizing some streets downtown, changing from 4 lanes down to 3 lanes with a dedicated turning lane right in the middle, and can reduce crashes up to 47%.
One thing that is a little frustrating about the industry that we're in is that we plan and plan and plan. Louisville has done a lot of really great plans, and the intent of this is to gather all of that data that we put together and everybody contributed to, and to come up with something that we could build quickly and see results.
One of the planners speaking tonight, the team is taking feedback at sessions like this and will make actual recommendations in the next couple of months. Also released tonight, a preliminary report into the audit of the Louisville Metro Housing Authority. WHAS 11 News has documented the deteriorating conditions in public housing across Louisville, including Dosker Manor downtown. Right now, the agency is moving more than 600 people out of that building and dealing with thousands of backlogged voucher applications. Today, the firm hired to investigate the city agency spoke in front of a Metro Council committee. Jody Wren says they identified funding as a major setback. In the last inspections, they found 8 buildings under LMHA did not pass.
But we've also learned a lot of the constraints that they live in, or that they have to operate in, dealing with a lot of the inadequate funding in how the appropriations come down through HUD and how they haven't been fully funded over the years, deteriorating the amount of money that they have to help them with maintenance, help them with building new infrastructure, etc.
Another unique challenge they have found so far, the pandemic's impact on renters. She said many renters owe back rent that they weren't paying during the pandemic, and unless they are on a repayment plan, that effects can be where they'll be relocated. So some people are having trouble moving out of Dosker Manor at the moment. Wren says that they hope to have the full audit report out by the end of June. A controversial apartment project at the Highlands of Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, was in front of the council today, and there was a show of force of opposition there as well. About 6.4 acres of land at the corner of Schreiber and Old Vincennes Road up for rezoning for a proposed apartment complex. Knobs Landing would be 3 buildings of apartments, including retail space. Tonight's meeting was all about public comment, and many people did sign up. Most in opposition to the development, citing issues with traffic and a concern of overcrowding schools if more than 100 families move in.
It was not like it was when I went to Floyd Central. It is very not personal anymore. So I think adding apartment complexes here and in Greenville and in Georgetown and all the 10 that are going up is it's borderline irresponsible development.
Well, several people at the meeting questioned why the land couldn't be kept zoned as commercial use. But Commissioner Jason Sharp said they cannot control when somebody wants to sell their land to developers and what they choose to do with it.
When you sell property at prices that only developers could afford, what do you think is going to happen? We cannot determine that. So for those of you that have large tracts of land who do not want further development, I encourage you to put covenants on your land so that it could not be developed.
Commissioner Sharp there in Floyd County says he hears the same arguments every time there's a proposed development in the Floyd's Knobs area. He suggested property use should be a conversation happening around kitchen tables with the family and not at a public commission meeting. Louisville Metro Police are saying tonight that they still need your help identifying who appears to be the victim in a brutal attack at the Greyhound bus station on Broadway. The video captured by a bystander, a heated confrontation in the Greyhound bus terminal on West Broadway downtown. You can hear a woman, a third-party Greyhound agent, in the background pleading that she wanted the man out of the building. Metro Council member Tammy Hawkins holding a news conference today about all this, saying the Greyhound employee should have called police, not her 2 sons, to get the man out. That employee now fired.
I'm going to push that either the Greyhound bus station can close or else they can get some security up here.
One, we want Greyhound moved. Like they need their own building, their own lot, their own space.
Rosalind Johnson works at the beauty shop next door. She says this kind of thing happens often. This Greyhound storefront was supposed to be temporary, but currently there's no plans for the bus company to move out.
I don't know how the VA works. I just know that it's a bureaucracy, just like everything else. So I'm hoping that they're making the right decisions when it comes to downsizing.
Brand new tonight on the Night Team, we are hearing from Kentucky veterans as they try to keep up with what's happening with the change agency in charge of their health care benefits. The local Department of Veterans Affairs hosted a town hall meeting tonight at the American Legion Post 157 in Shepherdsville. Their goal is to provide health care resources and garner feedback from the people they serve. But we also took this opportunity to ask the veterans their thoughts on what's happening right now within the federal government. WHAS11 Night Team's Jose Alonso is in Bullitt County talking to the veterans about their concerns.
This will help support our homeless veterans.
The American Legion Post 157 in Bullitt County.
Access to care is.
On Tuesday, retired members of our armed forces showed up to learn more about their health benefits.
So we're just kind of trying to figure out information that may be useful, may not be useful.
Or confide in each other on personal struggles and what's happening with the federal shakeup within the Department of Veteran Affairs.
Still going through a lot, with trauma and the separation from the military is still fresh. So it's a lot of emotions in there.
The local VA gave an update on their new hospital in East Louisville. But as President Trump's administration seeks to cut 80,000 jobs within the federal department, I asked the local Associate Director of Operations if this will impact Kentuckiana.
Well, we haven't heard yet what that impact will be, but our Secretary Collins has assured us that no veteran health care will be affected by these cuts.
And on Monday, the VA announced they will phase out treatment for gender dysphoria. According to the VA's government website, the agency has never offered sex change surgeries, but has offered services that benefit veterans looking to change their sex, such as hormone therapy, voice training, and gender-affirming prosthetics. Army and Marine vet Manuel Reyes believes gender-affirming care should be a private matter.
And I understand that if that's what you want to do with your life, by all means do it, but don't do it in the military. For that reason, I don't think it's okay to join the military and go through that transition.
But for Army veteran Julie Parker, it's a personal attack.
I actually served with people that were going through that transition, and them going through that transition did not change anything about their position and their leadership.
As the VA continues to navigate future changes, Kentucky vets with both perspectives are keeping a sharp eye on the department. In Shepherdsville, Jose Alonso, WHAS 1119 on your side.
Now back to the big VA hospital being built there on Brownsboro Road at the Waterson Expressway in the East End. The local VA associate director also mentioned the VA hospital is about 75% complete, and they are still on track to welcome their first patient by the fall of 2027. Big supporter of that hospital, of course, Mitch McConnell. He turned 83 years old 1 month ago, and since then, the U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell has continued to be a strong supporter of Ukraine and America's funding of that war. McConnell coming to Elizabethtown today, part of his effort to strengthen the defense sector and increase support for Fort Knox. He talked to reporters as well, warning of the dangers of President Donald Trump's America First policies. It comes as news broke today that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin have agreed to negotiate a limited ceasefire in the Russia-Ukraine war.
What we want to avoid here at the end is a headline that says Russia wins and America loses. It's the authoritarians versus the Democrats. Obviously, the Democrats need to be more aggressive. That includes NATO spending more.
McConnell turned 83 on February 20th, and on his birthday in D.C., he announced that he would not be seeking another term as Kentucky's senior U.S. Senator. We did ask him today if he was supporting Daniel Cameron in that race. He said he wasn't going to try to pick his successor and is leaving it up to the Republican voters in Kentucky. Brand new on the night team, this scene happening tonight on the campus of U of L. Tonight, students at U of L rallying to push the university into pulling its funding that could be going to Israel. A large group of students and others stood on the campus tonight chanting and protesting what they say is U of L's partnerships with companies like Boeing and Remington Arms that are helping fund Israel's war with Palestine. Tonight, their rally was aimed at U of L leadership. They want that funding to stop immediately. WHAS 1119 photojournalist Levi Hammer was there as they marched into their student government meeting.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Long live Palestine!
We were the first school in the South to divest from apartheid South Africa, and we want to be the first school in the South to divest from apartheid Israel.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
Free speech in Kentucky as a whole, not just the University of Louisville campus, is at risk. Students as a whole should be scared for the attacks on their professors, the attacks on their own student organizations.
Not another nickel, not another dime! Not another nickel, not another dime! No more money for Israel's crime!
With the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, it's clear that the universities are much more invested in their money than protecting students. Whatever level of citizenship that you should have the ability to have a free speech on a college campus where there's a freedom of ideas and a freedom of education.
The protesters tonight wanted the student government to approve a resolution that would ask the university to stop investing in these companies and start investing in education surrounding Palestine. In the end, that didn't happen. The resolution was not voted on tonight.